Welcome,
Alright, so we're
Pixelkaiser.
looking for a gallery.
We are.
Yeah.
Is it Foxy Boxes? I think that's a vagina joke.
Did you get... I can't... I think you're reading too far into
Are
it.
you sure?
Sometimes a, sometimes a terrible name is just a terrible name.
Apocalypse Nectar is a band name that should be used. Where the fuck is this place?
Is
Are
it on the
there?
other side? So
Oh, like in this.
basically, it seems like there's two streets. It seems like so if you go through here,
And
we're in
turn
kind of like the
left.
alleys, and then you come out on another street eventually, and it might be on there. And I think that's where your apartment is too. So I think I'm doing a mental map.
Ah, yes. Okay, because there's a place where
Oh, Gary
Oh!
Noir! I saw it. Follow this
Ooh!
gentleman.
Ooh! Ooh.
Wait, hold on.
I.
Can you just lockpick in front of everyone?
Shit!
Oh no.
Hello. Oh no, no! I'm sorry.
When's the last time you saved?
Oh, I don't know.
Jesus Christ, people. Are you still back in the ghost house?
Oh my god. Oh, thank God.
There you go. Okay, I think we're good. Alright, so... Yeah. So,
Okay,
what did we learn?
don't, th- that this game has very spooky things like police in it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so went through here. Let's just. Okay. Whoa, hello, buddy. So that place is closed right now.
Okay. Is there a back entrance to Gallery Noir?
Whoa, whoa.
Hey. Ha ha ha.
Radio this in. Huh. What should I say here? Like, I'm sorry, I'll leave immediately. And then I'll try to stealth my way in.
Yeah, see? There you go. You're a real vampire now, Harry. What a nice guy.
You too, goodbye. Are you a ghost?
I think that's a reskin of the bartender, by the way. Oh, can you get him? Oh, no, he's not looking. Soha, you're not making your stealth noise. I don't know if it's gonna work. Oh, I see a bunch of bats in the sky.
Sweet.
Art. Cain, cursed by God.
Alright, so I have to.
Slice that shit up.
Oh no.
Um,
Um. Is anything happening? Huh? Okay. Okay.
wow! Wow!
Boom, bam.
Wow! Alright, so... Huh.
Well, I slashed one of them.
Huh.
Where's their charity box? Okay. Okay. You know,
Do you need to slash all of them, like, in a certain time period so that they don't, like... So that it doesn't fade?
This one I already slashed. Wait.
I'm not slashing you again. You'd think it'd show some, like, dino damage or something on it. Oh, there it is.
Okay, there's one.
Wait, how did you slash one of them?
Yeah, only... Oh, I'm actually taking damage.
Oh. Oh, shit.
Like a lot of damage. Okay.
There you go.
Read the text below the paintings. Thank you, the Darkon.
Cain spurns Lilith. Is this supposed to go in order?
Cain cursed by God. Well, that's not the first thing. Cain meets Lilith.
Cain slays Abel. Okay, I actually know this one. Cain slays Abel.
I know this from Supernatural.
Oh my god.
Cain cursed by God.
Yeah.
And then he meets Lilith. And then...
I definitely talked to some folks who think this is in the actual Bible, which I kind of love.
Is it not in the actual Bible?
It is not.
I did not
is
know
none of
that.
it. She is part of, I believe, Jewish folk. Ah! Wow!
I'm gonna keep slashing you, motherfucker. Go.
Blood Guardian. The Soha story.
Menarche!
Monarchy!
Shit!
Oh, no, you were so close, too. Wait, how did you... I'm looking at your health. Oh, your health on the left. I keep thinking it's on the right.
Oh, I thought it was on the right, too. Whoa,
Yeah.
look at that guy.
Why did he turn back into a regular person?
I don't
New
know.
game. Let's just start it all over.
Like, you want to just start? Like, from...
Just do it.
From scratch? Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is... Not that. Kills Abel. Fucking... Or, yeah, he
So
fucking
that part's
owns
in the
him.
Bible. That part's in the Bible.
Oh, you mean he doesn't meet Lilith?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Not. Lilith is not present. Babastor asks, or actually no, Internet Technique asks, are those the four Hogwarts houses? You've been sorted into Cain, cursed by God. Fuck him up.
Ah, come on. I'm doing all of these sick moves.
So I can't really tell like how you're supposed to defend. Is there like a There it is.
You mean like that? Shit. Fuck. I don't have any
I
health.
forgot about that. What was that even for?
Can I use the power of that ghost lady?
That'd be great.
Fuck, I'm gonna die in like 1 second.
Oh.
Mortal Kombat! Fuck!
Oh. Bum 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 bum. Dad said, "Well, you're in time to see Soha get her ass kicked by Bible paintings."
Oh, now I know
Listen.
how to... Now I know how to do it. Because
Listen, everyone.
it's the
Not
middle.
difficult. Okay. This is like my one area of nerdery.
Alright. Alright.
Alright, so here we go.
Slays
Feeling
Abel.
good about this.
Abel's a fucking nerd. God's like, even if Abel's a nerd, you can't just fucking kill him. And he's like, whatever, God, I've got this babe. And she's like, no.
There we go.
Legit Bible story, I know.
Uh-huh. The Bible is like the one thing I actually know a lot about, so like it's the like as you know like when like nerds are like actually that's not what happened in the actual Captain America comics or something. That's how I
That's not what actually happened in the Bible.
Yeah, I'm like that's that's not in the Bible. Jerks.
Fuck. I know, I don't know how to strafe.
This could really do with a lock on. You could just like circle strafe.
Like a Z targeting?
Would this be easier in first person? Can you do this in first person? Oh,
no, I can't.
Okay. This action mode is too action for mirror.
Pipe! Respect the pipe!
Pipe it up!
Fuck!
Ah! Okay, your pipe went sailing into the air. I like how, dude. Okay, so what I'm assuming is this is just an NPC texture that they slapped, or NPC that they slapped this like extra texture on, and so when you die, I think the texture just leaves. And so you're just left with like Carl from the streets.
Yeah, right? Night Wisp raisins.
Go on.
I'm just gonna fucking throw. Okay.
Oh, okay. Kat is saying that you can block, so maybe that would be a good idea.
Maybe. How can I block? I'm sorry, everyone. This is like really awful.
You have 5 minutes.
All right, let's get this nerd in 5 minutes.
Fuck this nerd up. Let's do it.
Shit.
You can do it. I have faith in you. Look at that. You're doing it. He's almost.
Ah! Oh shit.
Oh.
Okay, no, I'm getting killed over here. Fuck.
Yeah, that did. Okay, so I think you have other powers that might. Oh, you can stack buffs?
I can stack buffs. Is that a thing? That's a thing everyone just said. I can stack buffs.
I stack bills and buffs. Hey everyone, listen to my rap song. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-da. Are you reading up on buffs?
I'm just looking at Twitter. Maybe would it help if I went and fed on some people?
Yeah, that probably would help.
Okay, maybe you should do that first.
Gotta get back in though.
I'm just gonna use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Alright, I'll entertain everybody.
Awesome.
So, I don't know any vampire stories, unfortunately. Otherwise, that would be really great. I knew a girl in high school back in the 90s. This is when vampire clubs and such were a very, very cool thing. I don't know if that was the case everywhere, but there was a whole lot of goths in my class that were like really into going to like vampy gothy raves. And I know that this one girl, Sharon, had fake pointy teeth, and I was like, that's so cool. That's all I got. That's like the extent of like my vampire stories in real life. I know that like she hung out with people who like were like, we're psychic vampires. We like feed on like, you know, energy and stuff, and I was like, that doesn't count. That's not real vampire.
Hey, hi.
Hi, Austin. How's it going,
It's me.
buddy?
It's Austin Walker.
By the way, everyone, I just summoned Austin Walker
Grah.
right into this call. Does everyone know Austin Walker? Austin, can you tell people about where to find you?
At Austin_Walker on Twitter. You know, like, there's a picture of me on this page, on the Stream Friends page. Like, they know who I am.
Oh, okay. Listen, man. Sorry, I'm on your turf here, man.
You're on my turf, Scott.
There's no picture of me.
That's true.
I'm a trash cake regular.
One of the pictures on this page is a friend of mine. Like, it's a drawing of him as an elf man, as a cyber elf. So that's pretty good. There's some good pictures here.
I'm a stream acquaintance. I don't think I've yet.
I think you're a stream bud at least.
I'm a stream bro.
Yeah, stream bro.
There's an accent in Western Pennsylvania, and and it's like, oh, it's kind of, they do this weird thing with the O's where it's like, oh,
Yep.
This kind of thing. And so, like, I often, when I'm talking, because I'm just so used to it out here, I will jokingly do that. I'll be like, "Oh, it's a ghost," and people won't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Right.
So I'm like, "Oh, it's a bro."
You do have a really indecipherable accent.
I grew up in Texas, Ohio, California, and New Jersey, so I have like the America accent.
Right.
It's the.
Oh my God, is Austin Walker in chat?
It's
Yeah.
Austin Walker.
Ah, are you gonna join us for the rest of the stream?
I can't, but I did want to tell a funny Vampire the Masquerade story.
Oh, please do.
Fantastic. Please do.
At least one. 'Cause I grew up on Vampire the Masquerade. Like I kind of like I grew up playing Vampire the Masquerade in IRC channels, and then I went to college and started playing it in real life.
Oh,
Like,
what was that like, by the way?
which?
Well, did you meet, were there people in real life?
No. They were different. They were different people. It was completely different groups. But here's like a dope teen Austin story.
Okay.
So I played Vampire the Masquerade on IRC as a teen, #teen.
Mm-hmm.
I played what's the name of the probably racist assassin Middle Eastern vampires?
This sounds up my alley.
Yeah, it super is. Oh, the Assamite, obviously. I'm gonna just read. This is just from the desert wastes of the east come the Assamites. They bring with them a miasma of terror. They were the worst. Anyway, I played one of those, and that was real cool. And I had so the IRC channel was like 100 people or something, right? It was just like the like a single court of vampires in modern day, like whatever fucking city it was in.
Go on.
And each on top of the like big open area where everybody hung out and politicked and like backstabbed each other, there was also like the private chats for each clan, with their own like clan rankings and just like and where you politicked internally. And like did things that people on the internet did, like get into fake internet relationships as vampire characters. And I definitely had one of those with a lady who I thought was real cool, and I was like a 15-year-old boy, and definitely didn't want to seem like a 15-year-old boy, so I just lied to her a bunch. I was like, "Oh, I'm 23. I live in London, England." And like the thing is,
untraceable. No one will ever figure
no one would know. I mean, it was like 2000, so like no one was gonna ever. Yeah. The internet was different then, and the kind of lie went so far as like telling her about my day, and I would just like invent I was a copywriter. I really liked like a certain cut of steak a lot. Like it was like a very specific image. Like there was nothing ever weird happened here. Right?
Oh no, yeah, you're right. None of this is weird at all.
but it was just like I became so dedicated. It was like so scary to me that she would learn that like this dude who was role-playing an assassin vampire wasn't cool enough. So that's me. That's how I got here today.
That's fantastic. I never had any fake internet relationships or any internet relationships.
That's like one of a billion. Like I grew up on fake internet relationships. Some of them became very, very real internet relationships. And real relationships. So
okay, I was gonna say, what's a real internet relationship? That's where you tell them that you're actually not, that you're 15 and from wherever you're at.
Right, exactly. No, that's like, well, first of all, I was from New Jersey at the time. Please.
Wait, did you say New Jersey?
Yeah. I was born in Pennsylvania and raised in Jersey.
What? Where in Pennsylvania? Well, where do you say? Okay.
Wilkes-Barre, Scranton.
And Jersey?
And South Jersey, just outside of Atlantic City.
Oh, that doesn't count.
What?
You're in Delaware or Philly at that point.
No! What?
Get off my channel.
You're in Delaware. Never ever tell me I'm in Delaware. Get out of here.
I lived in North Jersey, right over the bridge from New York City.
My fam is all, my dad's side of the family is all from North Jersey. So
nice. I hope everyone is enjoying us talking about this.
Right. So the second thing was, I ended up going to college, and they're like, I was part of like a tabletop role-playing club in college, which, that's for the cool kids. It was at Hofstra, and it was called the Hofstra University Gamers, or HUG. We called it HUG. Yeah, exactly. And that was, like a vampire game filled with gross politicking and people like trying to get in each other's pants because we were all like 19 and horny and sad.
Yeah.
And it was like the first time that anyone else in our lives was like willing to listen to our bullshit.
In a fantasy vampire comic.
That's what I'm saying. It was both, right? Like there was actually some shit in that scenario that was like really manipulative and gross on the part of some players and some GMs and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it was also the situation where it let us all. We ended up doing a vampire LARP, and we all played basically the most like stereotypical. Like if you'd put any of us in a room and said like, okay, tell us what the most interesting thing in the world is, we turned that into our characters, and so. It was the worst. It was absolutely the worst. Like we had one dude who played an Alcadian, who are again super problematic, who was just obsessed with Coca-Cola, and his whole character was just like relating things to Coca-Cola and how like Coca-Cola was.
What a shit character.
Right. And at the time I thought I was hot shit. I was like, I'll show you how to do an Alcadian right. And to remind people, I don't know if this has come up in this game yet, but. The Malkavian clan, or the clan of vampires, who are like, quote unquote, mentally deranged and develop different like. Vampire was a fucked up thing for a long time. So mine had a dissociative personality disorder, multiple personalities. Mm-hmm. He was a vampire who got turned in the 1920s, and so he had 3 distinct personalities. One of them was the Shadow, like the radio character, the Shadow. One of them was the broadcast, was like the news anchor on the fictional War of the Worlds radio drama, and so he just like narrated the events of the other character. And the third one was just Gatsby.
I love how high concept bullshit this is.
This is really high concept bullshit. And I had different voices for each of them, and I put on like a fake radio voice for the narrator character. But it was the worst, right? Like it was like high concept in the way a car crash is high concept.
Are you talking like this a whole bunch?
Yeah.
I'm Austin Walker.
Then also like this when I was the Shadow, right? I had like a fake Shadow name too. It was so bad. LARPing is the worst. I mean, like it was really. Here's the thing. Like it was really interesting, and I can look back on it with fondness. But at the time, like I was LARPing so I could like hit on this girl a whole bunch who I ended up dating. That was a terrible relationship. Mm-hmm. I was like, it was just the worst. Like everyone was there for an ulterior reason. Everyone was there so that they could like. It was the worst. Like Vampire really attracts a certain sort of player, I think, because it sells you on this idea of like, it sells you this high concept idea of vampires and like the darkness and secret politics and like courts and kings and like back alley power. But at the same time, the game as it's designed is kind of a superhero game because it's just about getting powerful, right? Like it's supposed to. The setting is all about structures of inequality and old rituals, but the actual system is just like I'm gonna put more points in getting buff. Like I'm gonna get so buffed.
This reminds me of many video game.
Yes, it does, and like so that's the same between the video game and in the tabletop, and like that's. I think that it's like a really great example of how like a high concept setting can totally not mesh with rules. Like I'm not trying to throw around highfalutin terms like low narrative dissonance necessarily, but there is.
I don't understand this fancy city boy talk.
Because I actually think it's really, that term works when you're thinking about a game in a vacuum like that. But when you think about how Vampire the Masquerade was meant to appeal to that specific audience of like goth adjacent, like people who were like into goth music but like maybe couldn't bring themselves to go to a goth club, like me, that it's like it needed to marry a setting and a narrative style that appeal to them as people who are weak and small in the face of danger and oppression, but then actually like give them a thing that made them feel powerful and strong and so that's my experience of Vampire the Masquerade. Apparently there's a new like Dark Ages vampire book that came out last year that's like super fucking good. Like it completely addressed a lot of the kind of cultural and gendered problems in really interesting ways. Like for instance, so 2 things. One, there used to be an Italian mobster clan of vampires called the Giovanni, but like of course Giovanni is like a first name; it's not a last name.
Yeah.
So like, why would that clan? The second thing is actually really interesting is there's a clan of vampires called the Chimize, who are all about body modification and leaving behind the kind of birth form of the quote unquote natural form of the flesh. And in the 90s era Vampire the Masquerade and stuff, all of this was just really fucking bad because it was basically it was lots of ew, who would change their body, who would fuck with. Whereas in the re-release in the kind of new Dark Ages book, they got, I think, a trans man to write it and to really engage with notions of dysphoria and trying to find a shape of the body that fits what your goal, what your ideal is in your mind. And it's apparently really, really, really interesting and kind of critical. And it thinks okay, what would people with the power to redefine their bodies do, and how would they do that in the face of something as structured and moored as quote unquote vampire society or any sort of deeply structured, oppressive, and hierarchical society.
It's funny because because this game obviously delves into some of that, but it delves into it in the shallowest, silliest way possible.
Right. No, of course. That's just
it's basically its level of engagement with it is just, man, fuck the cops. It's basically that's the extent of how much it gets into it. But I find it interesting, and so we'll have some fun stuff to talk about kind of as we go.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely. But I always, that's why I always find interesting about this game as someone who has no experience with this or any other external to video games role-playing game. I was interested because it had all this. When I say baggage, I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. It had all this heft to it because it was obviously coming out of this much larger universe. And so when they'd be oh, it's blah, 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 and my brain would kind of start filling and oh, I bet there's been 5 books about each part of these types of different
No,
types.
Absolutely. I had just a whole bin filled with Vampire the Masquerade books. Just setting books and different clan books, and they ran, the White Wolf ran a whole end of the world of darkness thing in the early 2000s. That was really frustrating for reasons at the time that I don't think I could have put the words together then as to why it was frustrating. It was frustrating me even then, but now I understand that it's about how I feel about tabletop games and kind of their open-endedness and their polysemous nature. The idea of them kind of saying, this is the one way that the world ends, was, I get it, they're authors of their world, but it also upset me in a way because it became the thing that the nerds at the gaming store said, no, if you read the book, this person is responsible for the whatever Gehenna, and fuck that, I need less of that in my tabletop gaming. I need way less canon lore, and way more tools to build cool shit.
So, Austin, I have a question.
Sure.
Do you remember any of your vampire names?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Was Jesus Christ one of them?
Yeah, that was, well, let me tell you about Jesus Christ. No, I think Jesus a vampire?
You have to hop in on this one.
I need to know, actually. Is Jesus a vampire?
We're entering the difficult question.
Yeah, we're just asking. Listen, I'm just asking the questions. I'm just asking the questions we all want to know.
Yeah, listen, you're just saying what everyone else is thinking.
Right.
Which is Jesus a vampire?
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
I actually don't know that I remember any of my character names. I think one of the fucking Malkavian characters was named Jack something. I don't know.
Jack.
I like that.
Jesus Christ.
I am in Google right now, and it's is Jesus and it's prophet, saint, Muslim, carpenter, demigod. No, vampire.
Vampire. Let's get that trend.
Phoenix paganism says that Jesus was a vampire.
Of course.
Well, then that settles it.
Fucking Vampire the Masquerade was basically Assassin's Creed. If there was an important person, they were involved in some way in this nonsense.
I like the need for these kind of stories to fold in literally everyone that you've heard of.
Well, it's the most frustrating thing, right? It's the same thing as any, I've not been rewatching Twin Peaks, but I've been listening to Twin Peaks Rewatch on the Idle Thumbs podcast network because I'm a big nerdo. And a thing that happens in that show is that every character becomes super involved with every other character's life. And it's just like really frustrating and soap opera-ish when that happens. Like Twin Peaks maybe has an excuse since it's kind of like reinterpolating the soap opera. But like in general, anytime a story does that, where like anything important has to be tied to the story, it has to be tied to like the main plot, and any person that exists in this world of any note has to be clued in, is just like really infuriating for me because it misses the point that lives are always already interesting, like and complicated and weird. And like we can find interesting shit right there alongside with the cool weird nonsense, right? Like it doesn't need to be not. There's a scene in Assassin's Creed 2 that fucking kills me. I kind of like Assassin's Creed 2. I kind of like Brotherhood. I like Brotherhood, but there's a scene late in Assassin's Creed 2 where every NPC who's helped you in the entire game shows up as like, now you're a real assassin. And it turns out we're all assassins too, and like. Fuck, like really, like literally all of the people in my life are assassins? Weird.
Just like in real life.
Yeah, exactly. Right, that's true. I understand the impulse to do it. When I think about the tabletop games I ran in college, and I think about the stories I wrote in college, all of them did that, right? Like, everything is tied together, and I was literally just looking through a lot of my old tabletop like notes for a thing recently, and just like the lists of characters and how they were interrelated and how they were like deeply connected to this big conspiracy.
Yeah.
Like I understand the impulse there is to make something that makes sense, and like I understand that I was turning to games to make sense of the world because the world was so complex and overwhelming. But I'm glad
games did not always meet you halfway on that.
Right. No, they didn't. They were a space for things to be simple, and still but appear complex but figured out. You know, like this is why conspiracy theories are so attractive. I think.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, like I've written this before, but like I think conspiracy theories tend to be like secretly really utopian, right? Like, oh, it all makes sense. Someone's in control, right? Exactly. It's not just. And if we can just fix that one thing, then everything will fall into place nicely. So I get that.
That one secret council of dudes.
Right, exactly. We just get rid of them, and it's like, oh wow, we're all
done. The rest of this is pretty manageable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's me. I think I should go make dinner now. I haven't really eaten much.
Thanks for coming up. I like this. We've had our first Trash Cake guest.
Yeah, it's good.
You're a little trash cupcake.
Aww,
little trash cupcake.
Like my heart did a thing there. You made my heart do a thing.
There you go. I don't know if you'd ever want to be associated with our.
If anything, I wish I could be more associated. You can find me again at Austin_Walker. And since I've been talking about all the tabletop stuff, you should check out my actual play podcast, which is sort of like...
This is all just a big plug.
I gotcha. It's called Friends at the Table. You can find it at friendsathetable.net or on iTunes. We're currently playing through a game called Dungeon World, and it's kind of like a weird critical subversion of Tolkien fantasy. And we're about to start doing a new thing. So friendsathetable.net, it's like me and Allie and Keith and Jack and Art and Nick and Andrew. It's all the people who are
It's the stream friends, but they're doing like
tabletop role play.
Yeah.
All right.
Our little
Everyone
trash cupcake.
I'm gonna make food and watch you beat this museum.
We could do
seem to be fighting a museum.
I'm fighting postmodern art.
Yeah, kill
That's
that
pretty
shit.
good. In the LARP we did once. We fought a Long Island Railroad station. So that's not too far off.
Always trying to one-up.
We might have done it. I can't remember if we might have just gone to a Long Island Railroad station to do that because we just lived out there.
Amazing.
I have vague memories. Anyway, bye. Have fun.
Good night, Austin. We love you.
Bye. All right. I think Austin's little thing, the Skype, the little Skype panel that's up on your screen.
Oh. Is that still showing up?
Yeah, we can't let our private information. Oh, it's still there.
How about right now?
Now it's gone.
Awesome. I didn't think that would show.
All right, so that was great. We should have more guests on.
I'm thinking we had this conversation last time of doing like a trash cake radio show.
I think it would be kind of great.
I really
What do you
hope that the power of Austin and his just Austin being so lovely will help me right